On this week's Who's Next with NXT, we document the episode before Evolution, and we're also still preparing for the Great American Bash. Ava is going to make a huge announcement that's going to have implications for Evolution 2, and we get a tag title match. But first, we got to hit you guys with that intro.
All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yeah, that's right, baby. We Book It back. We Book It podcast is back up and running. That's right. It is Tuesday night, and we're talking about Who's Next with NXT. I'm your host, Virgil. Thank you all so much for tuning in and hanging out with your boy as we talk about the best wrestling out there, some of the best wrestling out there. And I'm talking about NXT on Tuesday nights on the CW network. That's right. And we are preparing for not only a huge showing at Evolution on Saturday by the NXT Women's Division, but we are also preparing for the Great American Bash. That's right. We got so many huge implications, so much stuff going on. We got to get right down to it. The show opens up with Brad Baylor versus Jackson Drake versus Ricky Saints versus Ricky Smokes in a gauntlet match. If Ricky Saints beats all the members of the Vanity Project, he gets an NXT North American Championship match against who else? All Ego Ethan Page, and additionally gets to choose the stipulation for the match. So Brad Baylor will start the match opposite versus Ricky Saints. These two do a feeling out period. And then Saints takes control early, but Baylor turns the tide and hammers him with the crossface strikes. He kicks him in the corner, and then he begins to trade elbows and rights, and Brad blocks a kick and hits a drill bit, but nope. Ricky Saints with the right hands, the right cross, big lariats, and then he put Baylor off balance and gave him a back body drop and follows it up with a springboard, and then he eliminates Brad Baylor by a pinfall with the springboard, so the springboard tornado DDT. And then after that, Ricky Smokes is out next, and Smokes gets a near fall on out the gates. And then we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and Smokes is there with another near fall off a knee lift. Saints is clearly in a bad way at this moment. There's some overhead elbows. The former champ comes back with a big body drop and then an inverted DDT. And then nope. After that, we get a folding press for two off the ropes, and then Saints hits him with a Manhattan drop. Ricky Saints eliminates Ricky Smokes with a jackknife pin. Then we get Jackson Drake out next. Drake lays down strikes and kicks the spine of Saints, hits him with deathlock legs. He stomps his back, really working over Ricky Saints, and really trying to beat him down. By now, Ricky Saints has already wrestled two other matches. So this is Ricky Saints' third match of the night already. Saints ends up fighting out of it. He hits it with a whip reverse, a low drop kick from Jackson, a buzzsaw kick, a fireman's carry into a double knee gut buster. But nope, Ricky Saints blocks the kick, a fireman's carry. Um, And then after that, these two are going back and forth for a little bit. And then finally, Ricky charges in, but nobody home. He gives him a big kick. Receives a big kick from Jackson, a slingshot to the apron, and then a slingshot cannonball senton. Connects, but Saints drops him with a lariat right after. And then he gets Drake up. And then Ricky Saints wins by last eliminating Jackson Drake by pinfall with the Rochambeau, earning himself a shot at the NXT North American Championship and giving himself the right to pick a stipulation also. After the match, Saints gets on the mic and says he's gonna dog walk ego all over Atlanta in an anything goes, falls count anywhere match. Basically, guess what? No holds barred. But you can also pin anywhere. So um Ricky Saints literally is making himself into the workhorse of NXT. He's been wrestling every single night since he's been a part of the brand, making himself more and more viable, making himself a great option and a great opportunity for this company. And again, he is trying to become a two-time NXT North American champion, which, like I said, very few men have done in the history of the business. So kudos to him. He reminded me a lot of Seth Rollins. I don't know if you guys remember, but the one particular Monday Night Raw, I mean, Monday Night Raw had been a drag for weeks. And Seth Rollins came through one week and did a gauntlet match. And he literally saved Monday Night Raw with that match. I mean, he kicked ass. Every single person he fought in that gauntlet match was amazing. The whole match itself, the way it was put together, the way he ended up winning, all of it was amazing. Ricky Saints right here put on a very good showing in this gauntlet match. Kudos to him. And I do believe he will be the one probably to dethrone Ethan Page and take that NXT North American Championship from him. Ethan Page also might be on his way back up to the main roster. I do believe they're going to do the draft after SummerSlam. So, like I said, Ethan Page might be showing up on Raw or SmackDown here very, very soon. Backstage, Zarya and Sol Ruka are chatting excitedly about their tag title match at Evolution when I think Laney Raid rolls up to sow discontent, and then Kalani Jordan steps up to her and tells her she should be worried about Thea and Hale, and Reed complains about not being in the battle royal, and it all ends up with Jordan challenging her to a match, and that sends us to break. We get back from commercial break, and we get a nice vignette for Blake Monroe treating Jordynne Grace to a glamour workout, which is something Jordynne Grace has known nothing about. Jordynne Grace is used to clanging and banging in the gym, you know what I'm saying, working the muscles out, But in this instance, she's trying to show her glamour and beauty beat working out any day. They appear to be at a spa. Um, and then Jordynne Grace gets out of the car and says, "You got to be kidding me." Next up, we have Charlie Dempsey versus Tavion Heights. This match was a really good match. If Tavion wins, he's out of the no quarter catch crew. Charlie Dempsey, I've been saying this for weeks, y'all, and I still believe it. Charlie Dempsey on his own, he needs to drop the no quarter catch crew as a whole. I think that whole gimmick has bid its time. I would like to see Dempsey go on a singles run like no other and really let that heel persona show out through him. But yeah, Dempsey starts the match off hard, hitting out the gates with some action to the floor. Back inside, these guys are really working over the crowd right now. And they go back and forth for a long time. Highlight of the match, Charlie Dempsey stomps away at his leg until he falls loose and throws him back inside. Really scary moment right there. Tavion Heights, his leg literally falls in between the ring steps to get into the ring and the ring post, and it looks gnarly because it almost looks like his leg twists and then he falls down backwards at the same time. And of course, Charlie Dempsey is going to heal it up here and he's going to stomp on it and mess with that leg and work their leg over for the rest of the match. um he drops a knee, kneeling bow, and arrow, wrenching it in, but Tavion refuses to quit. And then Ren Sinclair throws the towel in, and it's over. And Charlie Dempsey wins by stoppage when Ren Sinclair throws the towel in. So, unfortunate, but for Tavion, but he has to stay in the no quarter catch crew. He was injured. Excuse me, good people. I've been trying to hold that all night. Anyways, Charlie Dempsey won by stoppage. Like I said, with the towel being thrown in, we'll see how this storyline continues. He might get another shot at being able to leave no quarter catch in the future, or he might just end up staying. But we have Hank and Tank backstage getting hyped for their title defense when Lexus King experimentally probes the fixtures in the back of the room like he's checking the secret doors. And then Javon Evans rolls up and says he expects them to get theirs back and have that bouncy. Jasper Troy blindsides Evans and beats him down. The tag champs try to keep him away, but he hammers Javon against the garage door that King was probing moments ago. It's really starting to heat up between Jasper Troy and Javon Evans. Those two at Great American Bash are going to tear it up. And kudos to Jasper Troy, man. Like to somebody to come straight out of Legends and Future Greats and to first work with Obafemi and do a bang up job with Obafemi, but then turn to Javon Evans next and to really fight with him too. I mean, like I said, he's working with two of the top guys arguably in NXT right now. I mean, you don't get any better than that. And he's a big believable heel. And he's showing his style. I think he beats Javon Evans at Great American Bash, if we're talking right now. So I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. But up next, we get Joe Hendry and Mike Santana versus the High Rise, Tariq Igwe and Tyson Dupont. So Hendry and Igwe start with a wrist lock from Tariq, countered into a headlock takeover, countered into a head scissors. These guys make tags, and then Dupont rams Santana into the corner and works him over. Quick tags, but Mike is quicker. Joe comes in, scoop, and the slam and the fall away. Then we head to commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and Dupont lays Hendry out with a near fall tag to Igwe. A guillotine choke is locked in, and Joe starts to fade. He gets away and tags Santana in and fired up off the ropes. Big Tupe Con Giro on Tyson. Then the match breaks down after that, and Hendry and Igwe brawling in the middle of the ring. A low bridge sends Tariq to the floor, and Joe follows it with the senton to the floor. Mike gets Dupont up, back suplex. Wesley then runs in for the interference, and Trick Williams is here for the distraction, and Santana sidesteps Dupont, and Joe Hendry and Mike Santana win by pinfall with the discus lariat from Santana on Tyson Dupont. Post-match, then Trick Williams comes into the ring and a brawl breaks out. And since the heels have the numbers advantage, Trick's challengers find themselves on the wrong side of town. Trick shot takes out Joe Hendry. Yeah, so like I said, it was unfortunate that they didn't have the numbers in their favor. They did end up winning the match. Curious to see how this triple threat works at Slammiversary. Very curious to see how that's going to work out. Or if they do choose to put the belt on Santana, because I do think Joe Hendry's contract is almost up with I'm sorry, with AEW, with uh with TNA, and I'm pretty sure he's probably going to end up signing a legit contract with WWE. I mean, for God's sakes, the man wrestled at WrestleMania last year, so I'm pretty sure he's going to sign a contract with WWE. He might actually end up skipping NXT altogether and showing up right on SmackDown or Raw. We'll have to see about that. But we go from there. We get a video package from Kiji Muto, Namahachi, and a bunch of other people in Io Sky, all wishing Yoshiki and Amora luck and telling him they believe he has what it takes to be NXT champion. I think it's really cool that they got all those people from all those famed Japanese wrestlers to be able to give their props and well wishes to him. Back from commercial break, and we get Dark State promo where they talk about invading TNA Impact last week and all the other cookie jars they got their hands in. They pledge to take a real close look at the tag team title match tonight. Josh Briggs and Yoshiki and Amora make their entrance, followed by Obafemi. And Amora gets on the mic and says Femi will be his greatest challenger. But he is ready and he is supported by Briggs and the fans and his family, and he will win with honor. Oba asks him if he's ready to lose with honor because the truth will prevail and he isn't worthy to take the title from Derula. Josh gets on the mic and says Yoshiki is being polite, and did you see what he did to Jasper Troy last week? He beat Troy easier than Femi did, and he's going to do the same exact thing to the Spooky Fingers Rula at the bash. He's going to beat Oba's ass. He says he's going to do everything he can to make sure Inamura wins because this is their only chance. Femi tells Briggs this isn't his fight, and a brawl breaks out between the two of them, with Inamura largely sidelined until Josh gets put to the floor. Yoshiki overwhelms Oba and lands a Revolution body slam as referees and road agents arrive to break it up. Yeah, let me tell y'all something. Obafemi not losing that championship to this man. He's gonna have a good showing, but listen, they love Obafemi. He is not finna lose their championship to that man. All right, so we go to the back and Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe with another vignette where Grace isn't having the beauty treatment, but Monroe tells her she spends so much time training her body, she deserves to be treated herself. And then we get a montage of stuff like Jordynne ripping the sleeves off a bathrobe and getting mad at a masseuse for not going hard enough on her. Hilarious. I wonder if she also gets mad at Jonathan Grisham for not going as hard on her either. Anyways, eventually Grace admits it's not that bad, but she doesn't look any different than she normally does. And Blake's riposte is that this way is a lot more fun, isn't it? Then they leave that vignette and it's Kaylani Jordan making her entrance that sends us to break. This match, honestly, for the most part, was a piss break for me. Kaylani Jordan just kind of doesn't do it for me. But she did end up picking up the win by a splitting leg moonsault, which was pretty. Post match, Tia Hale arrives and beats Laney Reed down. And then backstage, Javon Evans is getting looked at by a trainer when Jasper Troy rolls up once again and beats that ass once again. And that sends us back to commercial break. Now we get down to business. And anytime I put this voice on, you know I'm talking about the family. You know I'm talking about Don, Tony D'Angelo, and Luca Stefano, and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. They all arrive in the storage room, which is really just probably one of the loading docks in the back of NXT. But anyways, um, and these guys appear and they're ready to fight. But Adriana Rizzo appears and tells them all to sit down and to work it out. Stacks takes a dig at Tony's leadership, and she says she's called the final showdown because she saw that all three of them lose focus and on what they created in NXT, and in all the ways they disappeared people altogether. And then after that, she yells at Tony for not working harder in Vegas to get them back together before admitting there's no saving them. And then she lets them know that they have one more match, a triple threat match together, and these three are going to have to go at it. So yes, that's right. We are going to get a triple threat match between Stacks, between D'Angelo, and between Christopher. I'm sorry, Stacks, D'Angelo, and Stacks, D'Angelo, and Christopher. I had it right. I knew I had it right. I know what I'm talking about. Nah, just playing. But then we go from there. She said she did what she had to be done. So these two have their fight. These three have their final word. And then after that, Jasper Troy is in the ring. We go from there, and he's in the ring, and he says he's done with Javon Evans and demands Ava add him to the title match at the Great American Bash. But Evans isn't done with him, and the young OG storms into the ring and manages to lay Jasper Troy out with a super kick, follows it up with a huge dive. He mounts punches as security pulls him off, and Troy tries poorly to recover. Next, we get the culling vignette with Tatum Paxley in the dark void saying she feels right at home. Nico Vince says he put Hank and Tank down once and he's gonna do it again. And they didn't attack them last week, but he'll stop at nothing. Sean Spears tells him to calm down. The truth will come out, but for now, they'll take advantage of the opportunity afforded them by this misunderstanding. Then Izzy Dame says they'll win the tag titles, and then she'll win the NXT Women's North American Championship next week. And Tatum is excited at all her new friends having gold. They appear on stage to make their entrance, and we go to break. Next up, we come back and they're brawling even before the bell begins. Walker and Spears to start the match. They whip reverse, big stinger splash into the corner, and then a lariat from Hank. Then off the ropes, a low freight train tope to save Ledger from Vance. Ledger with the side headlock. Vance overpowers him, tags in the Spears. They hit him with a neck breaker and a knee drop and cover for a one. They continue to work Tank over, and then Hank gets in there and gets the action to the floor. Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley run interference, and Nico Vance pounces Walker over the announce table and wipes Booker T out to send us to commercial break, which is hilarious because you know Booker T has all of the smoke for it. We get back from commercial break, and these guys are battling all over the place. Spears with the pair of super kicks, a tag to Nico, a diving headbutts connects. They go for the 1, 2, and then Hank breaks it up. Tank gets Sean up in a fireman's carry. Izzy gets a cheap shot in, and then Impaler DDT. 1, 2, but no 3. So close. Then Sol Ruka appears to brawl with Dame, and Zarya picks Tatum Paxley up and walks off with her. Hank and Tank are shirts off and shit is going down. A big Larry takes out Nico off his feet. Spears sacrifices himself, assisted power slam, and it's over. Hank and Tank win by pinfall with the assisted power slam on Shawn Spears, retaining their NXT tag team championships. I thought about something. The Creed brothers really should still be in NXT. And I say that because they definitely are. You have all these heel tag teams on Monday Night Raw, and you got a bunch of face tag teams on SmackDown, and all the face tag teams on SmackDown are fighting each other, and all the heel tag teams on Raw are fighting each other. This doesn't make any sense. This is really bad booking. Like, you literally could have the Creed brothers either fighting for the NXT tag team championships with Hank and Tank, or you could have them fighting for the WWE SmackDown tag team championships, but instead they're on Raw not doing nothing. It doesn't make any sense. I hate it. Post match, Tank is busted open, and they show him they show them guys celebrating, and then they show Ava Rain walking backstage to send us to break, and then back from break we get a commercial and Chase U vignette explaining that KO Dixon couldn't wrestle tonight because he was having a panic attack, and Andre Chase tells them not to worry about it and they'll figure it out together. Then Ava Rain is seen in the ring for the Evolution Summit. She starts off talking about the first one and how proud she is to be the general manager of NXT, taking part in the second one. She announces Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Kehlani Jordan, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley as NXT's sixth entrance into the Battle Royal. And she says they'll show everyone why NXT always steps up and shows out. They have the deepest women's division in the world, and NXT is the land of opportunity. Next, enter in Fatal Influence. JC Jane asks Ava if she remembers her NXT Women's Champion, and says she doesn't need to talk about the Battle Royal when she's going to be defending her title, and the depth of the division is all on them. Next thing you know, Jordynne Grace comes out. She asks everybody to act surprised that JC is running her mouth again, and Evolution is about the women who paved the way for them, and when she takes the title, she's going to steer the division into the future. Next, enter Lash Legend. She says she loves this. It's a gift for her, for them to keep fighting over the title, while she goes ahead and wins the Battle Royal and goes on to win the title at Clash in Paris. Next thing you know, out comes Stephanie Vaquer. She says she respects that JC beat her, but on Sunday, Jordan's going to beat her, and then she's going to win the Battle Royal. Then you enter in Natalie and Maxine Dupree. Dupree goes to bat for Natty as the boat and says one of them is going to win the title in Paris. Neidhart says the Dungeon Dolls didn't come to play; they came to win, and they're going to be the final two in the Battle Royal. Women start filtering in from all the edges, and Jada Parker gets on the mic from the crowd. She tells them to keep that energy because she's going to be on point at Evolution, and you best believe it's going to be her time. At this, a huge brawl breaks out. All the women present, and Ava Rain bails and tries to restore order with the referees, but there is no restoring order, and that is your show. And this has been your NXT Who's Next with NXT episode. I appreciate each and every last one of you for tuning in. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts on who you think is going to win that Battle Royal at Evolution. I still think it's going to be a returning Bianca Belair winning and going on to fight for the WWE Championship at Clash in Paris. So it just makes sense that way to me. But we will see what happens. But again, I appreciate each and every last one of you for tuning in. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, appreciate you all. Keep those booking pistols sharp and keep on booking.